Hey you guys. I'm recording both on my camera and in the microphone because I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a podcast or a video. But I just want to talk. I honestly, I'm not quite sure what exactly I want to talk about. Like, I have a lot that I want to talk about. I think the first thing I want to do is ask you guys, how are y'all doing? How are you guys doing? The people listening, the ones who I'm trying to reach out to, the ones I'm trying to help, how are y'all doing? I hope everyone's doing okay. I just wanted to bring a little bit of awareness, I guess, to how hard it is during an epidemic, during a pandemic, how hard it is to stay sober. I personally have experience. I got completely clean, 100% clean, and off my methadone in November of 2019. And by May of 2020, I was back on methadone for treatment because when I lost my job, when I got in a car accident, I lost my car, when school moved completely online and I had no reason to leave my house every day. I lost everything, including my sanity, and I didn't know how to deal with that. And I 100% believe if the pandemic never happened, I would not be where I am today, meaning I would be in a better position. Everyone says, or everyone has told me, like my mom and, some of the people who are supporting me, which is not a lot, they have told me that everything happens for a reason. And I'll never forget at the beginning of the year, and literally it was February 12th, I went looking for an apartment. It was me, my son's father, and my 2 kids. He and I had gotten together around the summer of 2019. We broke up for 2 years, right before I had my son. And then we got back together right for his second birthday. And we were looking for our apartment at the very beginning of 2020. And I tried 5 different apartment complexes, and no place would accept me for various reasons. And I remember my mom telling me over and over and over, there's a reason, you can't get this, that, and the other. Don't rush it, it'll all come in due time. And about 2.5, 3 months later, because I stopped trying for the apartments after like the 5th apartment said no to me. I said, you know what? I'm going to just save my money and move on with life, you know? And then 2.5 months later, me and my boyfriend at the time both lost our jobs because of COVID. And that just was a huge blow to my face. I was like, whoa, you know, if I had my apartment right now, like, there's no way we would have kept it because we would not have been able to. Both of us did not have a job. I'm still living off student loans. You know, now I'm a single mom. At the time, you know, I had 2 kids. I was unmarried. No certainty that he and I would even last. I would not have kept that apartment. And then I would have had an eviction in my name. I would have lost, oh my God, it would have been really bad, you guys. So now looking back, I see, you know, there's a reason I didn't get the apartment even when I had my job, before I could see losing everything, before I could see the country closing down the way it did and such. So looking back, yeah, there was a reason I didn't get that apartment, and it actually saved me in the long run. But if the country never shut down, if COVID never happened, I think I would have kept working, eventually gotten a place, and I just wonder where my life would be a year and a half later. Like, where would I be now? I don't know. Anyway, whenever all that happened, you know, losing our jobs, going nowhere in life at the time, me and my boyfriend broke up because I could not, that's a whole different story, but he and I broke up for good, because I don't play that getting back together. He's the first person, he is the first person I had ever actually went back to after breaking up. So I don't play that game. Like, once we're done, we're done. I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, it was too much, meaning I didn't know how to stay sober with the stress of no job, 2 kids, I'm alone, country shutting down. I felt like everything I had worked for was taken away. I had fought so hard to get sober, to get a job, to get back in school, to get off methadone, to better my life, to move out of my parents' house, to get my own place, to keep moving up, to get better jobs, to graduate. I had these plans. And 2020 was supposed to be my year. It was supposed to be the year. You know, I showed the world that I'm back. It was supposed to be the year that I told everyone, you cannot count me out. It was going to be my proof to myself that I am a good mother. I am a good person. And I feel like I failed. I failed. And I ended up back on methadone. Back to living off student loans. I'm still in school, thank God. Barely making it. And I'm looking forward, and I don't see how I'm going to graduate, get a job doing what I want to do, and survive. And if it weren't for methadone, I definitely would be on the streets. I probably would not be alive right now if I did not have that crutch to fall back on to save me. I've always said, and I'll keep saying it, the next time I fall, I'm not getting up. I've had to rebuild my life from scratch so many times, and I know the next time I fall, if I fall, it's going to be bad, and there will be no saving me. I know that because I know myself, and I have very self-love. I say all the time, I'm happy and happier. I love my kids. I love being a mom. Some days I'm okay and I'm content with my life, but for the majority of it, and I've admitted this, I'm not okay with where I am in life. I wish I was farther, and that is a demon I am trying to deal with in myself. But I have such little love for myself that if I relapse and I fall down, that will chip away the little bit of love I have left for myself, and I will have nothing to get up for. I will not be able to pick myself up because I will have no way out if I fall down again. And realizing that and seeing that in myself is terrifying because it's so much pressure to walk straight and narrow, because if I fall down again, I know there is no one to grab me and I cannot catch myself. I can't do it again. I've done it way too many times. And this last time that I detoxed and got clean, it almost killed me. Quite literally, it almost killed me. And I can't do it again. I can't. And I don't want to. I don't want anyone listening to this thinking like, this isn't a cry for help in the sense of I'm not fiending. I'm not craving drugs. I'm saying all of this to say I don't want to fall down again. I'm saying this to show people who are not drug addicts. Yeah, it's hard for everybody. When you have a drug addiction and a mental illness on top of what is already stressful for a person who can handle it, it is so much harder to live day to day, hour to hour even. It is so hard. And being a heroin addict, it is so hard. Just knowing the next time I fall will be my last. I know it. I cannot overdose again. I know I can't. My body cannot handle it. And I know I'm not alone. And that brings me solace. Not in the sense of I'm happy other people are suffering with me. That's not what brings me solace. What brings me peace is knowing that somebody knows what I'm going through. Like, I can say this, I can speak in my microphone, and I know somebody is sitting right now nodding their head, either a little smirk or a little frown, maybe a little grimace, and they're saying, I know that feeling. Either I have felt it, or yes, girl, I am going through it with you. You're not alone. Right now, somebody is saying that in their head. You are not alone. I remember that. And that brings me comfort, and it makes me feel just a little bit closer to the world. And one thing about me is I have always suffered from derealization. I have a hard time believing that my life is real. I'm not delusional and I'm not paranoid. I sometimes will detach myself from my reality, and it's really hard sometimes to put myself in the world and know that my reality is actually happening. Sometimes it seems like a movie or like a storyline, and I'm waiting for the script to change because I don't like my life. And in me thinking that way, I get very complacent and I will be stagnant in one spot for years because I don't believe what's real is real. And I'm like, okay, this will change. Just like the movies, my life is a movie. It'll change. Someone's going to come in and rescue me. And I've mentioned this in one of my videos. I just realized this is going to be a podcast, but on one of my videos on my YouTube, I actually said that nobody's going to rescue you, meaning a drug addict. You have to save yourself because nobody is flying in and sweeping you off your feet and rescuing you. Nobody's going to save me. And that's really hard to accept because I mean, I don't have to explain why that's hard to accept. You know why. That would be awesome if life were a movie and right now whoever he is, my Prince Charming, came through the door and, marry me, yes. I have all the money in the world, yes. We don't need drugs to be happy, yes. That would be awesome. And you see all these people on Instagram, you see all these people on Twitter and YouTube and fancy cars and cash and wads of money and just sitting at home all day watching movies, filming YouTube, getting paid all this money just for filming their life. And it's like, what? Why can't I do that? Why can't I have that life? What do I have to do to get that? Because I've worked very hard. I may be a drug addict, but I have worked hard in my life and I keep falling down. And sometimes I feel like no matter how much I work, it doesn't matter. I am not cut out to have a good life. Even if my life is okay and I'm able to somehow scrounge up money and pay bills, I'm able to somehow stay in school and keep passing my semesters. Somehow I graduate with my associates and I finally get in the bachelor's program. Somehow I just feel like it'll all be for nothing and something is going to prohibit me from succeeding. Either something will prohibit me from succeeding getting my bachelor's, or I'll actually go all the way. I'll graduate with my bachelor's, but then because of my past history, I won't be able to get a job in my field. And that mindset is very dangerous for a drug addict because that's very pessimistic. And I'm aware of that. And I try my best to be optimistic. I at least try my best to not be pessimistic, even if I'm not optimistic. I try my best to not go the negative route, to not go the route of, well, it could go bad. I try to at least go a step above that. And it's very hard and it's very dangerous. And then you add a pandemic on top of that. And there's no way out. I mean, you can't go into a building. People are terrified to get near you. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you boo-hooing. No one cares that you're craving heroin. No one cares that you're craving a needle. Nobody cares that you're going to go sell your body for $20 frickin' to go get one hit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. People are actually dying, even though they're taking every precaution. Nobody cares about you and your quote-unquote choice, because to them, it's a choice. You're choosing to be a drug addict, so they don't care. And it makes it even harder, because you can't cry out. You can't reach out. No one's there for you. So what do? You shut your mouth, you grate your teeth, and you do one of two things. You stay strong and somehow get through every single day without using, somehow, and you are fucking miserable. Fucking miserable. Or you give in and you get high because you're fucking miserable. But at least I'm high and I'm numb and I can sleep. Until I wake up and I'm sick as hell. Now I'm really wishing I would die because I really don't want to live now. And then comes the lying, the manipulations, the stealing, the prostitution, the robbing, searching your floor for hours, searching old pockets from a dress you haven't worn for 3 years because just maybe, searching old duffel bag, old purses that you haven't seen in 2 years because you never know. Maybe I didn't clean it out all the way. Making empty promises to people you can't even look in the eye anymore. Because you know you're never going to pay them back. You know it's never going to be just one time. It's not going to be just tonight because I'm bored. It's never going to be just now because I'm sick and I need to get right. It's never just one time. So what do? You dig yourself deeper and deeper until you have nowhere left to dig. You have nowhere to go. You're trapped. And the deeper you go, you can only throw dirt out of your hole you're digging for so long before it just caves in on you. And you don't see the light. There's no more light. You know it's there on the other side of the hole you just dug. Now you're covered in dirt. And you know if you can just get out of that dirt pile you put on you put it on your back. You dug down, you threw the dirt out, and it fell back on top of you. You did it to yourself. Yes. And you know. All you have to do is get through that dirt, and the light is right there. And all you need is just... You just need just a shimmer of light. You don't even need to see through the dirt fully. You just need a shimmer, just a little glimpse to know it's there. You know it's there. Okay, there's light there. If there's light, that means there has to be somebody out there walking. They have to see my hand. They have to pull me up. They have to. Because that's what humans do. We help one another, right? But it doesn't matter because you've already dug your hole. Even if you climb out of your hole, okay, let's say even if you dig yourself deep, the dirt is on you, it falls in on you, oh my God, it's dark, okay, you turn around. You say, okay, I can dig my way out of this. I can do it one more time. I could see the light. Let me just put a little finger above. I could see the light. I can do this. You've got hundreds and thousands of pounds of dirt on you. You can make it through it. You can. It starts to rain and now it's muddy. You could still do it. You could still crawl through it. You got this. You can do this. Somehow. You can lose your shovel along the way, so you no longer have your shovel to help you dig out of the hole you just dug. Now it's muddy. Now you don't have a shovel. Your shoes fall off in the process. Your nails are all dirty. You stink. Finally, you put your hand above the dirt and you feel the air. You feel it. And you say, I got this. I've got this. So you climb out. Okay. Your head is out. You pull the top of your body up with your hands. Now the whole top of you is above. You put your hands on the ground and you push yourself out, your legs, the bottom half of your body. You bring your knees up one at a time and you're out. You are out of the hole you dug that turned the mud, that took your shovel, that took your shoes, that ruined your nails, that matted your hair, that made you stink, laying in your own shit and feces and piss for days. Sick as fuck. But here's the thing people don't tell you. Now that you're up, all that loose soil that you dug is in that hole. Loose. So what happens when you go to stand on it? What happens when you stand on a big hole filled with loose, unpacked dirt? What happens when you go to stand on a huge hole with loose, unpacked dirt? It's not stable. You're unstable. That is addiction. That is the best way I can explain addiction for anybody. Who doesn't know what addiction is like. Even if you crawl out of the dirt, even if you get up, you are still standing on loose, unstable ground, and any amount of shifting that you are not used to, any amount of movement that you cannot hold up because you don't know how to hold your own weight, you're falling back in. I got to do part 2 real quick. All right, part 2 of what is addiction. So it doesn't matter that you made it out. What matters is you're on a bunch of loose soil that has mud in there and it can't hold you up. And when you're not taught how to make the dirt you're standing on, the ground you are standing on, stable, nobody's teaching you how to do it. So you have to experiment and you have to test different theories and hypotheses that you have. That's what you're doing. You have to figure out what works and what does not work. You know, does this make it stable? Well, for how long does it make it stable? That only worked for a week, then I fell down again. Let me crawl out and figure out a different way to make this ground that I am on stable. And that is addiction. Every time you fall, you take what you did, you take what you know, and you apply it, and you change little pieces of it, or you add or take away little pieces this, that, or the other to try to make the ground you're standing on stable. And when you don't have help, it's almost impossible. When you don't have anybody grabbing you, warning you, hey, you're about to step in a loose soil pit. You don't have anyone saying, give me your hand, let me pull you from the loose soil to the solid ground. And you don't know you can walk off of it. You have no clue. You have no clue. How are you supposed to walk off of it? Because if you go to take a step, you're in the center of this loose soil pit. You can't just walk off of it. Because if you take a step, that foot's going under. And if you don't know how to step lightly, you're going straight down. And when you add the weight of the world on your shoulders, it pushes you down even more. When you have two kids that are staring at you, okay? They're trying to walk in the dirt pit to save you. And you're telling them, do not come in here, because then you will go down too. So you're doing your best to keep them pushed back so they don't go under with you. You know, you got to somehow make money. You got to somehow go to work. You got to somehow pay bills, all while having this loose dirt pit under your fucking feet. And you have no earthly idea how you are going to walk out of this. But you do know you cannot possibly keep falling down to the bottom of this time and time again forever and always make it out alive. Eventually, you're going to run out of dirt to stand on. Eventually, you're going to throw out enough dirt that there's nothing there to even hold you up. Eventually, it's going to rain enough times. There's not going to be any dirt left to even hold you. And all you can do is look around at the people walking freely. And you wonder, how do they do it? How? How did they get out of their dirt pile? Because I don't know how to. And you don't know that you literally just have to jump out. You don't know that. And sometimes addicts, they never find out how easy it truly is to just walk out. Take a deep breath. Have faith. They say all you need is a mustard seed. They say all you need is a little seed of faith. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just a little bit. And trust, I don't know, trust yourself that you know what's right. Trust that you know how to walk. Trust that you know where to walk. Take a deep breath. Listen to the world around you. Watch the world around you. Hear what's going on around you. Feel the vibrations of the earth under your feet. And know where to step so you don't fall in. It's all about trusting yourself and trusting the world around you just enough so you don't fall in. And once you make it out, take your kids and get the hell away. Take everyone you love and you never look back because you don't have to. I guess I'm still learning that. I'm still learning the part where I don't have to look back. I don't have to look back and protect my past self. And I think that's what I try to do. I'm trying to protect the girl that I once was. And every time I'm trying to protect her, she's pulling me back down. I hope this opened up your eyes, your mind to addiction. This is how my addiction is. Now everybody will explain it differently. For me, it's like a loose dirt pit that you're unable to be stabilized on, and you keep falling down until you learn how to stabilize it or until you die. There is no other option. Either you learn to be stable and walk off the dirt pit onto stable ground, or you die in that dirt pit. For me, there is no jail. That's not a solution. Mental institutions, rehab, that's not a solution. That is a part-time, I don't even know what that is. It's not, almost just a step. It's not even a full step, I would say. It's not even a tier to it. It's just like a little oomph. It's just a little, let me throw you up there real quick, and they can kind of show you if you're lucky enough to get a good enough rehab. You have to learn to be stable in your heart, in your mind, and trust yourself. Because if you cannot trust yourself, you will never make it in sobriety. I do know that much. They say if you don't trust your partner, what are you doing with them? Well, I think trust, you can also say that about yourself. If you don't trust yourself, what are you doing with yourself? If you're not 100% trusting your thoughts, your choices, your actions, what are you doing? I'm the one person I should trust. I should trust my judgment. I should trust if I'm walking straight. I should trust I'm going to keep myself afloat. I'm going to keep myself up on top of the ground, not jumping into dirt piles trying to help anyone else. I'm the one person who should have my back. And that's the problem. Too many people do not have their own back. Too many people have the backs of everyone around them. While they're jumping in dirt piles trying to help this, that, and the fifth, what about them? When it's time for them to reach back and pull you out, they walk the hell away. I know that sounds familiar. I know this was a little tangent I went on, but like I said, I'm here to talk, and I really didn't know where this was going, but I'm glad I turned on the mic. I'm glad I talked, because this needed to be said. This needed to be said, and it needs to be heard. So y'all listen to my voice, listen to my words, listen, hear me, hear us. Addicts are people, we are people, and we need help. We don't want you to hand stuff to us. Well, some addicts do, and they're not the ones who are ready for true recovery, and that is okay. That is 100% okay. Everybody is at their own level in addiction and in recovery. That is okay. People who truly want to recover and be just okay and survive, we're not asking you to hand everything to us. We're asking for some help up to show us how to be stable so we can be stable on our own. Show us how. Show us how to do it so we can be left alone, so we can show the next person. Help us. Because for whatever reason, we were not shown how to be stable in our childhood. That's what people are not understanding about addicts. They were not shown. I don't know why. It's different. Every addict is different. They were not shown how to be stable after they were an addict. A lot of people, they will not become addicted to substances until they're like in their 30s or 40s. And up until then, they probably were they had their shit together, and then out of nowhere, they're addicts. They forgot how to be stable. They're no longer that person anymore. They are a different person. Judy is no longer the Judy you knew 20 years ago. Judy is now Judy, the addict. Yeah, that's who Judy is. Whether she's in active addiction or she's in recovery, that Judy is now the addict in recovery or the addict in active addiction. She is no longer that person. She don't remember how to be stable. She don't remember how to make the right choices because drugs change the brain. They change the brain chemistry. They will change the brain physically. This is not me making this shit up, okay? This is real. This is legit. This is science. It changes people. And it's not just experiences. It physically, like, an addict does not think the way they once thought, okay? And this is beyond a choice. This is no longer what you're choosing. No, fuck a choice. This is no longer about a choice, okay? This is about addicts needing help in their recovery. This is about addicts needing to be shown how to be stable. That's it. They don't need to be handed a bunch of money. Just, how do I be stable? How do I do this? How do I cope? Teach me how to cope. That's it. Everybody has it hard. But if you're able to help the next person out, you're able to teach them something that they don't know, teach them. And if part of your duty, as a human is to teach an addict how to be stable, do it. It's not going to hurt you. You don't have to give them yourself. You don't have to love them. You don't have to give them your trust. Just, hey, bro, how I'm stable in my life is I do X, Y, and Z, and I have A, B, and C from that. Maybe you should try it. That's it. That is it. Hey, bro, I have kids. I have a job. I pay my bills. This is how I do that. I stay on track by A, B, and C. That's it. Oh, cool. That's how you do it? Well, how do you budget your money? Do you mind telling me? Well, I budget my money by saving this amount and this amount. That's it. I went to college. I did this. I learned how to do this. So that's it. We don't need a whole bunch of, how do you do this? Because I don't know how to do it. The problem is people think addicts are fucking animals. They do not treat us like human beings, okay? They do not look at an addict and say, that is an adult that needs to learn how to live as a contributing member to society. They look at addicts and they think we are all degenerates who don't deserve anything. And that needs to stop because it's not fucking cool. It is not okay. It is not cool. And I'm going to get very heated, so I'm going to calm down. Because I told y'all, I get emotional. Y'all know I get emotional now. If you know me about my YouTube, you know I get emotional. I can get very emotional. I can get very passionate. And I apologize if that comes off as anger, because I'm never truly angry. I don't get angry. I get passionate. And it comes off very aggressive, and I apologize. So let's move forth. I'm going to end this because it's getting late, you guys. You guys know I cannot record podcasts until close to midnight because my son he doesn't talk. So he only communicates by screaming and yelling. So I have to make sure he is asleep for me to record. Like I said, I hope somebody either learned something or realizes something from this. Email me, TheAddictMom.Official@gmail.com. Oh, check the description. I have a new website up, and I'm so excited. It's a new blog website, so it's going to have blog. It's completely uncensored. I'm still going to have my main YouTube, but this new website blog is allowing me, like, I don't have to have the vocal. I don't have to have all this other stuff because I'm just going to have my one website and my main YouTube. I'm also going to have my Instagram and Facebook, but this is going to allow me, it'll just be easier. Everything is in one spot. So links are in my description. Be sure to follow me. Be sure to subscribe to me. Y'all know the drill. And let me know. Email me if y'all have any requests, any comments, any questions. Let me know, because I love interacting with you guys. And if you are hearing me and you ever want to be on my podcast, you want to share your story, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, I don't care. I will love it either way. Email me. Come get on my podcast with me, because I would love guests to open the conversation and share opinions. All right, you guys, y'all know, as always, make wise choices. Make safe decisions. Y'all are not alone. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all next week. Thank you. Bye. As always, y'all know, make wise choices and be safe. Y'all have a great week, and thank you again for listening. I will see y'all later. I'll catch you over on my YouTube and on Instagram every single day. Bye, you guys.